As chilly as it is here, it is nice to be back in the comforts of the shack and of home and our own beds and our own routine. Looking forward to a couple days of focusing on ourselves and then taking another day off on Wednesday before the usual prep for Fort Wayne coming in for our alumni weekend on Saturday.
Schedule, obviously, it's a tough one. To get that first win, what's the conversation like between your team to maybe let's just go out and get a W?
I think our conference is very deep from top to bottom, and then who we drew right off the bat, home and away. It is what it is. It's the reality of it. But the conversation is we're one possession, we're one play here. If we can get 2 stops in that run, it's a very different outcome, or it's a very different 4 or 5 minutes. So just having a couple players up in my office earlier today before practice, there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of encouragement. I'm very sensitive to that freshman wall, or sensitive to that the mentality of our players, and one of them was like, "Coach, you're too sensitive to that." Okay, great. I'm happy to hear that. So from that perspective, the locker room is locked in, dialed in, and they're just as eager to follow our direction and to follow the game plan as we are to challenge them with it.
So frustration hasn't quite gotten into there?
No.
What do you think you guys as a team learned most on this road trip?
I think the most glaring thing is that our offense is pretty darn good. When we don't turn the ball over, our offense is pretty good. It's the defensive intensity and defensive urgency, which comes down to mental toughness, I believe. And I think that was not new information for us, but yet again reiterated or continued to rear its head and tell us we're not where we are capable of being, nor where we want to be. Luckily, those are things that with film work and with practice can only improve. But I think that was probably what we learned the most, or took the biggest nugget away from.
What do you think is the biggest thing that you keep bringing up in the locker room to kind of solidify that mental toughness that you're talking about?
It's that it's going to be a challenge each and every day, and we must improve each and every day, and right now. It's very easy to look down and be like, oh, next time we play them, we'll do this differently, and next time we'll do that differently, and those are all fine and well, but it must happen right now. And there are things that I am seeing happening right now. It's being consistent in boxing out. It's being consistent in our urgency to navigate ball screens or away screens properly. It's the consistency, which again comes with having 10 freshmen and sophomores on the floor and empowering them to fight through fatigue, fight through that mental barrier of this is hard. Yeah, it's hard, but they're encouraged, which gives us as coaches encouragement, and I'm excited to get to practice today.
Dave mentioned that he likes the fact that he's got a game midweek so that can keep his team in more of a rhythm. Do you view your situation a little differently because of that mental toughness, where it's nice to kind of have a week off until Saturday?
Right now, I think it's having a bye week or not having a game on Tuesday is perfect for our team. And I'll say that so that we are focusing on ourselves. With a young team, and the preparation for games is very, very important. But it comes sometimes at the expense of some of the nuances and some of the individual things that need to be addressed on both ends of the floor for players, strictly because there's just not enough time in the day. So I am more than pleased that we have 2 days to prep for ourselves, to work and focus strictly on ourselves before we go back to that routine of preparation for an opponent.
You mentioned about how difficult the schedule was to start. I don't think anybody will disagree with that. But do you almost feel like if you get one win, it just takes one to get it going?
Absolutely. One starts a streak.
At the beginning of the year, you set out roles for all of your individual players, and seeing some players rise and some players kind of fall to the back of the pack. Do you reevaluate those roles when you've got the week off like you do here?
We actually reevaluated those roles between non-conference and conference play. So we did that about 2.5 weeks ago. And I don't think that's part of the conversation this week. They are very solid in their roles. They understand their roles. They all do believe that they are capable of fulfilling their roles to a fuller degree. So that's not the conversation or the question right now. It is just the consistency to do what is asked in those roles.